It's true. Getting a job in Canada is harder than getting Taylor Swift tickets these days.
Anyone else applying to jobs and going through the exact same thing? The job posted this week, over 100 applicants. Posted 5 hours ago, over 100 applicants. Okay, this is crazy. 1 hour ago, over 100 applicants. I actually feel like applying on LinkedIn and Indeed is dead. Well, it's alive. You'll just be applying against thousands of people. In 2025, I think I'm just gonna be prioritizing networking, meeting people in person, making meaningful connections, and also private job boards.
The competition is so high that job hunting in Canada today actually feels like an Olympic sport, except the rules keep changing and nobody tells you about them, and the finish line keeps moving. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kate, and welcome to my channel. Here's where I talk about life in Canada as I see it. Please hit like and share and subscribe to this channel because it really does help a lot. In today's video, we're looking at some rants and some advice from the internet about job searching, mostly to let you know that you're not alone if you're going through this, and it is really tough out there, and there is a lot that we can do to help ourselves. Take a look.
Want to hear something crazy? Someone I just spoke to told me a recruiter called them to give them a rejection call saying like, hey, we're not going to move forward past your resume, right? They decided to ask, okay, thank you so much, but I'd like to just know why you decided not to move past my resume. Like, what's your feedback on my resume? Finding out that the recruiter didn't actually look at the resume. They were just going off of the ATS response. The ATS rejected them, and the recruiter didn't. So the recruiter went back to look at the resume to give them a response, only to find out that they liked their experience and went, actually, you know what? We would really like to have an interview with you. You're pretty qualified and think you would be a good fit. So let's move you forward with an interview. We change our mind. Isn't that bonkers? Isn't that crazy? Advocate for yourself, okay? Please don't take rejections as is.
That's great advice. Like, don't take rejections as is. Like, write back every once in a while. Check in with any recruiter that you've met. I think that makes a difference. I haven't seen any luck, but I keep doing that nonetheless. So yeah.
Canadians are struggling to find jobs all across Canada. As someone who has over 5 years experience in customer service, whether it's in fast food or being a sales associate, I myself cannot find a job. So I cannot imagine what it's like for younger people going into the workforce. Companies like McDonald's and Tim Hortons aren't even hiring. Like, they are hiring, but I've had applications rejected not once, but twice, even though I'm overqualified for the job. I honestly don't know how Canadians are making a living. Why is there such a job shortage, and why can't we get hired? There is no reason that fast food companies cannot hire people my age or younger. And this is happening all across Canada. Like, what are we supposed to do? Jobs want experience, yet won't give it to us. So are we just supposed to sit at home all day? It's also ironic because it's the same people that say Gen Z and the younger generation don't want to work, yet you guys are the one hiring us. And we need like 10 plus years of experience and a degree just to work at your shitty part-time job. So make it make sense. What's on the go?
Like, I think like we have to start spear fishing now. Like, you can't. The traditional way of applying is just not working.
Okay, I have a little HR secret that they do not want you to know. But if you have to go to more than 3 to 4 interviews for a job, don't take the job. Run now while you can, because that usually means that they don't have an organized structure for a hiring process. And 9 times out of 10, your onboarding process is just going to be just as long, unorganized, and unproductive. A lot of people come to me, they're like, oh, well, I did this interview with this person, then I did an interview with that person, then I'm going to go to the board of VP, and then I'm meeting the committee, and then I'm meeting, the executive's daughter and taking her out to lunch. I'm sorry, if you have to do more than 3 interviews with different people, and they are not within like a week time frame, if it's longer than a week in between these interviews, it's mostly because they have an unorganized hiring process. And that is a good example or a good sign that the job itself will be unorganized and unstructured. Now, that's not going to say, hey, it's not possible, but most times, if you have to do an interview process that takes longer than a few months and you do more than 3 to 4 interviews, it's a red flag to me. It's a no for me, dog. I've seen it. It just means they're unorganized and it's unstructured. Why would you want to be at a job where they don't communicate effectively from department to department and they don't have an effective hiring process? don't take that job. They don't want me to tell y'all this, but I said it. Now, well, who gonna whip me? Oh, all right, that's what I thought.
I think he's on the money for a lot of it. There are a lot of red flags that I think all of us in the interview process see, but it's hard to really take action because the job market is so crazy. So, what are some of the red flags that you think you need to take note of? Please put them in the comments. I'm really curious. And what do you do if you spot a red flag but you still move through the process? Do you really turn it down when in a market like this, or do you take it? I want to know what your thoughts are. Let me know in the comments.
Anyone saying that the job market is not that bad, you're lying. When I came back from working for 4 years in China, I worked as a manager for 40 teachers, 7 English campuses, over 3,000 students who were making millions of dollars a year in my, in our budgeting. And I was very successful in my role. I have clear credentials, etc., to back that all up. I still managed for more than 1 year living in Canada to not find any employment over $23 an hour. The most pay I got was from a summer camp that is a non-for-profit arts and culture center. So obviously they're not going to pay me a lot, but I love that job very much. And I've been a ride or die for them, and I would do it for not that much money anyway. But I digress. I was used to getting a very, very decent salary before and had an immense amount of responsibility. And in Canada, I could barely even get interviews for entry-level teaching positions at a English teaching center that could guarantee like 10 to 15 hours per week if I was lucky at $20 an hour. I'm telling you, that is the only jobs I could find because easier jobs with less skills required wouldn't even give me a shot. And management positions or senior management positions, which is what I was qualified to do, were never going to hire me having not worked for their company or not worked in the Canadian teaching system for whatever reason. So after a year of literally barely surviving, I decided that I was just going to do my own thing. I do own my own business now. I have my own little teaching school with my own little private clients, and I'm making about as much money for less physical class time, but obviously it's still not enough. I have way more freedom and happiness in my soul, of course, but it has taken me like almost a whole other year just to make my business like make me any money, like not just barely surviving, you know what I mean? To any of you out there who are seeing people say things like, if you want to get more money, if you want to do good for yourself, like you just got to work harder, apply more places, you got to hustle. Yeah, a lot of people are hustling, and a lot of people are still seeing no results from that hustle. And that's the hard part. That's the disheartening part. Not everyone can just get jobs because so-and-so's mommy or who or whatever introduced them to it, which is where nearly all the positions I get, I hear of how they were introduced to that position was through a family member, through a friend, through something. So once again, if you're struggling, if you feel like it's really, really difficult to find a job right now, it is as difficult. It is as difficult as you think it is. So give yourself some patience, give yourself some love, because it's tough out there for everyone, okay? Including those who are university educated, including those who are not, including those who have a skills training. Everything is difficult right now. So, well, anyway, keep on going. Love you.
And I think that's the other thing that people keep getting is like, you've got the experience, start your own thing, but getting things off the ground in this market is a bit of a challenge as well. And you really need to rally your forces to make things happen. Now, there's a million things that are wrong with the job search as it is. The process is broken. You need new skills just to know how to apply correctly. But we have to do what it takes to stay motivated and to keep moving forward in this race, and do something that keeps your discipline and which keeps you grounded. As hard as it is to spend all your waking energy on just the job search, make sure you take some time off to do something that makes you happy. Make sure you eat right, manage stress, because that is like the biggest part of this. This is more of a test in perseverance and resilience than it is in actually getting a job. And like you, the only thing I can think of is like to use this time to make myself a better person. I've been spending a lot of time learning how to edit videos and, get on YouTube, and that kind of helps with a little bit of a dopamine kick, which is needed when you're like looking at constant rejections every day. What are you guys doing to, stay focused and keep your head in the game and not get bogged down by everything that you hear and everything that you experience? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know what do you think. If you enjoy this video and if you are on a job search and you're looking, for a few ways to get hired, I did a podcast series where I spoke to recruiters and job coaches, just trying to understand what I could do to improve my situation, and they gave me some great advice which I've recorded and put online, and I'm going to link the playlist here, and I hope you go take a look and check it out and tell me if you find it as helpful as I did. See you next time. Signing off. This is Kate. Bye bye.